The Haunting of Teddy's Embrace. Chapter 1. The Antique Shop. In the heart of a quaint little town nestled between mist-covered hills, there stood an antique shop known to locals as Whispering Wonders. It was a place where forgotten treasures found refuge, each item carrying a story of its own. Among the dusty shelves and creaking floorboards, one object stood out, a vintage teddy bear with soul-piercing button eyes and a crooked smile. Its nameplate read simply, Mr. Snuggles. Laney, a curious teenager with an affinity for all things mysterious, stumbled upon the shop during one of her exploratory walks through the town. Intrigued by the eerie aura emanating from Mr. Snuggles, she couldn't resist purchasing the teddy bear despite the warnings of the shopkeeper. Chapter 2. The Unsettling Presence. As Laney brought Mr. Snuggles home, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Shadows danced in the corners of her room, and whispers echoed in the silence of the night. Despite her unease, she couldn't bring herself to part with the teddy bear. There was something oddly comforting about its presence, despite the chill it brought. Night after night, Laney's sleep grew restless. Strange dreams plagued her mind, visions of a shadowy figure looming over her bed, its eyes gleaming with malice. She dismissed them as mere nightmares until one fateful evening, when reality blurred with the realm of the supernatural. Chapter 3. The Haunting Begins. Laney awoke to the sound of faint giggling, sending shivers down her spine. As she opened her eyes, she found Mr. Snuggles sitting at the foot of her bed, its button eyes fixed upon her. The room seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly energy, and fear gripped her heart like icy tendrils. Unable to move, Laney watched in horror as Mr. Snuggles began to move on its own accord. Its once innocent smile twisted into a malevolent grin, and its plush limbs contorted in unnatural ways. Panic surged through Laney as she realized she was trapped in her own room, at the mercy of a possessed teddy bear. Chapter 4. Descent into Madness. Days turned into weeks, and Laney's sanity began to unravel under the relentless torment of Mr. Snuggles. Every night brought new horrors, whispers that echoed in the darkness, unseen hands that gripped her throat, and apparitions that taunted her with their hollow eyes. Desperate for answers, Laney delved into the history of Whispering Wonders, uncovering a dark secret buried beneath layers of time. Legend had it that Mr. Snuggles was once owned by a child who met a tragic end, his restless spirit forever bound to the cursed teddy bear. Determined to break the curse, Laney sought the help of a local paranormal investigator, but with each passing day, the line between reality and nightmare blurred further. She was trapped in a waking hell, haunted by a malevolent force that hungered for her soul. Chapter 5. Confronting the Darkness. In a last-ditch effort to save herself, Laney confronted Mr. Snuggles in a final showdown. Armed with nothing but her courage and a makeshift exorcism ritual, she braved the depths of her own fear to banish the evil that plagued her. As the clock struck midnight, Laney recited the incantation with trembling lips, her voice drowning out the whispers that filled the room. With a blinding flash of light, the darkness that consumed Mr. Snuggles dissipated, leaving behind nothing but a sense of eerie calm. Chapter 6. Redemption and Closure. With the curse lifted, Laney finally found peace, but the scars of her ordeal would forever linger. She bid farewell to Whispering Wonders, leaving behind the haunted teddy bear as a warning to those who dared to tread the path she once walked. As she watched the shop disappear into the distance, Laney couldn't help but wonder if she had truly escaped the clutches of evil or merely postponed the inevitable. For in the world of the supernatural, darkness lurked in every shadow, waiting for its next victim to fall prey to its sinister embrace. And so, the legend of Mr. Snuggles lived on, a cautionary tale of the horrors that lurked beneath the surface of innocence, waiting to consume the unwary souls who dared to cross its path.